Hi everybody, it's Robin, Little Robin Designs. This is attempt number 512.3 to get this video recorded today. Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you have joined me before. I am so glad you're all here. I have a lot to cover today because I'm a slacker and haven't recorded a real video in forever. So I'm going to try and get started pretty quickly. I'll talk about some personal, life updates as we go along. The first thing I want to talk about is my new releases. I have 2 of them, and they are both available at your local needlework shop or your online needlework shop right now. If they don't have it in stock, just let them know that you want them or one of them, and they can contact me and get it in your hot little hands ASAP. I did send them an email with all of the details. I think I have most of the shops on my distro list. So if they don't have the information, just point them to me. I'll put my email and stuff down in the description box below. Okay, first up is Peaceful Kingdom. I love this one. Excuse me for bending so far to frame. I love this one. I saw this phrase in a thrift shop, I don't know, last year sometime, and it cracked me up. If you haven't already seen it, it's when the queen is happy, there's peace in the kingdom. I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but it just really tickled my funny bone, and I chuckle every time I see it still. It's the classed up version, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, that kind of thing. My husband thinks it's a little bit funny, but he just kind of rolls his eyes for the most part. But so the stats on this are, it is stitched on 40 count linen, all full crosses, so you could stitch this on Aida with no problem. I stitched it on XJU Designs linen in latte, and the thread is Weeks Dye Works Turkish red. Isn't it just gorgeous? I just love that red so much. The frame on this is a frame that I bought at a thrift store. I think it was Goodwill. It started out white, and what I originally wanted to do was paint it red on the bottom and then paint it black and then sand away the black and reveal the red. And unfortunately though, what happened when I tried to do that was I was just sanding all the way down to the white instead of just the red. Like, it was, I just couldn't be delicate enough to only get to the red. So I scrapped that plan, made sure that it was all black, and then I took the red paint and put it on my brush, and then I've got like a covering on the table that I use for painting, and so I just stippled most of the paint off and just very, very gently took it over, the places that are, on the upper parts. I don't know, what is that? The top parts of the relief bits. And then I coated it with 3 coats of spray polyacrylic, and it came out exactly the way I was hoping. I just love this piece. Like I said, it gives me a chuckle, and I just love the red. I do want to mention about, and I love the font, and what I want to mention about the font is that I did not create this font on my own from scratch. So you may or may not have come across this website before, but there's this fantastic website that is a really great resource for stitchers called Lord Libidan. I'm not sure if they say Lord Libidan or Lord Libidan or Lord Libidan. I'm not sure. I just say Lord Libidan. Anyway, they have a whole bunch of free fonts available there, in a variety of different sizes. So I have used that site before if I've got a sampler or just some kind of, stitched piece generally, or I'll show you in a little bit. I've kind of sort of designed my own ornaments a couple times for my family, and I have used their fonts for those things before for myself. And when I was thinking about this chart and what I wanted it to look like, I knew already that there was a font on that site that I really, really loved and that would be very close to exactly what I wanted. And I was like, why use your time reinventing the wheel? So I contacted them I shot them an email and I was like, hey, listen, I'm designing a piece and you've got a font that I really like. I'd really like to use it for commercial use. Is that okay? And they very promptly responded back and said, oh yeah, that's completely fine. Just give us credit. So that's what I'm doing. So it's very, very close to the font that is on their website. It's not exact. I did change a few things, but it's so close that it basically is their font. But I encourage you to go to their website and explore and use them as a resource. I think it's amazing that they provide what they provide for free to the stitching community. I will put the link to their website down below in the description, and I just want again extend my thank you to them for providing this and for allowing me to use their font for commercial purposes. Thank you so much. Okay, so that is Peaceful Kingdom. That is an original design. You can probably tell it's not a reproduction. Okay, the next one, I'm gonna pause here actually because I need to move this stuff closer, otherwise I'm gonna be like, you're gonna see my butt and everything. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm basically the Flash, aren't I? Okay, so up next is Eugenia Hoyt. She is a semi-reproduction is what I'm gonna call her. Unfortunately, there was no way to reproduce her faithfully because there were, as you'll see when I show you the antique in a minute, there were a lot of stitches that were just missing. A lot that were missing. Also, there are a lot of places where her stitching was off by half a thread, and so you kind of have to decide, okay, which way am I gonna, so like it'd be 8.5 between two things. And so you gotta go, okay, well, am I gonna go with 9 between them or 8 between them? You know what I mean? So kind of have to fudge it just a little bit to get it, to work when you've got that situation going on. But I think I got a pretty faithful representation. I'll show you the antique, like I said, in a sec. So this name, what attracted me from the beginning is the name, which is one of my grandmother's middle name, and this bird. I just love this bird and these poppies. I love the poppies. You know, I have heard from older gardeners to never ever plant poppies unless you want your life to be taken over by controlling the poppies. So I haven't been bold enough to actually plant poppies quite yet in my garden. I'm thinking about it though, but I love them. I think they are so, so pretty. And I don't think I've seen very many samplers with poppies in them. I am by no means the most well-traveled sampler viewer, but it was just a little bit unique to me. And then this little bird, he's so small, but it has so much detail. He's just so charming. I just loved him so much. So she reached out and grabbed me by the throat the nanosecond I saw her available, and convinced me to buy her and reproduce her. Well, reproduce her. So I'm going to show you the antique now. Sorry, my backer isn't quite big enough, but that's okay. So here she is. She is extremely dirty. Oh, I'll tell you the fabric info in a minute. She's very dirty, very worn, lots of things missing, right? Lots of thread, like most of that bird, a lot of that bird is missing. Just a lot. There's some stuff over here that's missing. So there's a lot that I kind of had to guess at. And, you know, I think I did a pretty good job of, you know, where I couldn't be certain what was there, of at least doing something that looked like it fit in that spot. You know what I mean? And then we've got the back is, you know, the color, most of the colors haven't faded a whole lot. I did change some of the colors just a little bit. This yellow up here, that's like one of my least favorite colors, is that weird bodily fluid pukey yellow color. Not a fan in the stitching. I wear that color on my nails sometimes. I've got some nail polish that's that color, but not in my stitching, thanks. So I changed that up just a little bit. It's sort of in between the original and you know, the back and what it faded to on the front. So let me show you again. So this is, you see, it still is a nice vivid yellow, but it's not that nasty thing that makes you think of something gross. Okay, this fabric is Picture This Plus Fawn. This is 40 count. I stitched it 1/2, 40 count, all full crosses. So again, this would be suitable to do on Ada. Not all of my charts will be that way, but I do really love it when they are. I know that there's going to come a time in my life where I won't be able to stitch on linen anymore, and so, you know, I kind of appreciate that struggle for people who can't. But I liked fawn. I chose fawn because it is pretty highly modeled, at least the piece that I got, and it looks dirty, kind of like the original looks, you know, dirty and beat up and dingy. This is not as tea brown color as this one, but that's okay. I think it actually is probably closer to the feel, the color temperature that the original was. I do want to mention, I've been meaning to mention and haven't in, I don't know, the last 3 videos. I did find a local framer and she is amazing. I'm actually going to pause this real quick and look up what the name of her store is so that I can say it right. I'm going to put it in the link below, but I want to make sure that I say it right in the video too. That would be so terrible if I didn't. Okay, I'm back again. It is the ArtistAngle Gallery in Frederick, Maryland. So it's actually very, very close, very convenient for me to drive to. Her prices are extremely reasonable. She is very competitive with even, you know, Michael's or Joann's or one of the big box stores. And her selection is excellent. She has a lot of really great things to choose from. I did talk to her the last time I was in there, or maybe the time before that, about you know, is she willing to do things via mail order? And she said yes, she is willing to work with you. She's great. I really love going in there, and like I said, I will put the information, the link down below in the description box. Yeah, so, you know, please, it's a woman-owned, locally owned, small business. You know, we all know they can use all the help we can give them at this point. But I've been extremely happy. She's very, very quick turnaround. Like I said, very reasonable. So, have at it. Okay, so next, I want to go into some business news. I'm sorry if this is a little bit jilty. Like I said, this is like I think this is actually the 3rd or 4th time I've recorded this today, and every time has gotten a little better, but I'm super scattered right now and feeling a little behind, so it's not the best, but sorry about that. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay, so business news. My charts are now available through 2 distributors, Hoffman Distributing and Yarn Tree. I'm extremely excited to be working with both of them. Hoffman just got their first shipment of my charts last week. That's their wholesale only distributors, so you can't buy from them, but your shop can. So, you know, if there's something of mine that you are interested in having and your shop doesn't want to come directly to me, just let them know that when they place their order with Hoffman or Yarn Tree, they can add my stuff, and my stuff is available through both of those distributors. The next super, super exciting piece of news is that I'm going to market in Nashville in the spring 2022. I am extremely excited. I'm working very hard to get things ready. There's no way, you know, I have a big thank you, 2 big thank yous to say right up front here, because without these 2 people, there's no way I would be going this soon. And so thank you to them both. The first is Janice Note. She shared her booth with Angel Guillory of The Elegant Thread and last year, or well, not last year, 2020. And Angel said to her, hey, you know, this, right after Expo, she's like, hey, you know, if there's anybody that wants to go, any newbies, you know, I'm willing to pay it forward what you did for me to get me there my first time. And Janice was like, oh yeah, there is someone who wants to go, and let me hook you up with her. So thank you so much, Janice, for getting my name over to Angel. And Angel, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really, really do appreciate it. It's no small thing to share the already limited space that you have to show shops, you know, what you're all about and what you have to offer. So I really appreciate it. So I've got my reservations made at the Marriott. I'm not staying on site. That's already booked up and full, but I've got my reservations for the Marriott across the street, and I am planning all the things that I will need to gather together to take with me to put in the room with my charts and my models, and I'm just so excited. I can't quite wrap my head around the fact that I'm going. This just you know, it's Nashville just has this sort of mystique around it. I can't really explain it, but I'm really looking forward to meeting, you know, I met via video some shop owners on at the expo in August, and that was fantastic. And I met a bunch of designers on Zoom at the expo, you know, online, and that was really awesome too. And I'm really looking forward to meeting people in person and, you know, getting that face-to-face interaction, which may sound strange because if you know me, you know I am a near hermit. I'm not a big fan of human interaction, but I am really looking forward to this. So very excited about that. The next item is that my pieces are being sent away for their very first trunk show. They are going to a very, I don't know, worthy first one. That just sounds weird. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but it's a really great shop. I've seen videos of it. I haven't visited personally, but I am hoping to get there myself in person sometime. So Keepsakes Keepsakes Cross Stitch in Ohio near Cincinnati. They are having their Stitch Away 2022 in middle of January, and my pieces will be there on display. I will be shipping them right after the holiday, and I am just ecstatic for people to be able to see my models, you know, up close and personal and, you know, live. You know, even with a very good photo, you don't get the same feel for what a piece actually looks like and what it will actually be all about as you do standing in front of it. I wish I could see, you know, I don't know, it sounds kind of egotistical or something like, yeah, my stuff is amazing. I wish I could see how much people love it when they see it in person. I don't mean it like that. I don't know. I love seeing things in person, and I get way more excited seeing things in person than I do on the screen or, you know, even the chart that comes in the mail. It's just way cooler to see it in person. That's all. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All right, let me move along to my list before I get myself in trouble. Okay, the next piece I'm going down a list, like I said, because otherwise you can see how scattered I am, even with the list. Okay, so the next thing is I have started working with model stitchers, and let me tell you, this is a mental lifesaver. I put out a message, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, on my Instagram, saying, hey, you know, I'm looking for some model stitchers. Is anyone interested? And I got several people responded back, which I'm extremely grateful to. And I have 2 charts out with 2 separate ladies being stitched for release at market. I was really starting to feel pressure and really starting to feel under the gun. You know, I was looking at the different things that I have going on between now and when I need to have things off to the printer to get, you know, covers and charts and printed, and then still have time to pack them all up and yada yada. I was really feeling under the gun, and so I really was feeling like there was no way I was going to be able to get everything done that I would want to have done to feel like I was doing market the right way. And so it felt like it was gonna, even if I did well and people bought things when I went, it was gonna feel like a failure to me because it wasn't gonna be where I wanted it to be, you know. But these ladies have rescued me from those feelings. and I so appreciate them. I didn't ask them if it was okay for me to share their names, so I'm not going to do that right now, but before the next video, I will check with them, and if they say okay, I will let you know who is saving my life. Okay. Let's see. All right, so now for my personal stitching. I don't have any whips that I can show you. I'm working on Charlotte Griffiths. I'm almost done with her. I had to take a little break from her. She got real intense for a little while there. And so I've taken about a week away from her. But I haven't really been stitching on, I've been stitching on one ornament from Hands On Design, just kind of off and on, and in between doing all the other, you know, Christmas prep and, you know, all those other things. And so since I don't really have many whips to speak of, I thought I would show you some previous finishes of ornaments that I have made for my husband and daughter and son in the last several years. So let me turn around. Tray of Loveliness. All right, so I'm gonna start with my husband's, and I'm sorry if I go on too much about some of these. I entertain myself, and it's a really good thing, because, you know, if you can't make yourself laugh. All right, so my husband, you have to understand, I love my husband very much, and my husband loves me. And a testament to how much he loves me is that he really, really detests Christmas. Like, he's a generous person, he is a kind person, but he really hates Christmas. And I really love Christmas. I have 4 trees. Yeah, I have 4 trees and then a teeny tiny tree. And he puts up with it, and he helps me haul things up and down the stairs to get set up, and he will ask, hey, do you need any more storage bins? And he accepts it when I sew him cross-stitch Christmas ornaments. And so I try not to make them too Christmassy, and I try to make it things that he will appreciate. So the first one I did for him was this. I don't know if you can tell, it says ho ho no instead of ho ho ho. And this little character is Jane Cobb from Firefly. My husband and I are giant nerds. Firefly, I think, is his by far favorite TV series. I really enjoy it too, but I'm not as big a fan as my husband is. So that is his favorite character on the show, and I feel like that's a very Jane thing to say. A very Andy thing to say too. All right, another TV show that the whole family absolutely loves. We've watched it through so many times, just like so many other people have. We're not unique, but is The Office. And there's this character on there, Dwight, and he is something else, man. So one year he comes to the office dressed as Belsnickel, and he's got like coal smeared on his cheeks and on his, like, he looks like a filthy ragamuffin Belsnickel. So Jim, he's explaining it to Jim what Belsnickel is, and Jim is like, oh, and this is what he says. So kind of like Santa, but dirty and worse. Crack me up. So I made that for him. He enjoyed that. Then I made him, he really loves Game of Thrones also. So the year that he was reading and watching that, I made him this. This is Jon Snow, and it just says, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay, so then for my daughter, let's see. The first year I made one for her, we as a family, this was, I think the year before my son, you know, while I was pregnant with my son, my husband and me and my daughter were reading, you know, we would read a Harry Potter book, and then we would watch the movie, and then read the next book and watch, you know, so that's what we did that year. So for that one, I found a chart on Etsy, and I believe this is the first time I used, actually, did I buy this chart on Etsy, or did I just make this myself? I'm actually pretty sure that I just made this. I think I bought a chart that had like this symbol and the spectacles, but I just bought it because I wanted to use those little sections. I could be wrong. I don't even remember, I guess. I'm pretty sure that I did this. Sorry, guys. I'm pretty sure I did this, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time I used the Lord Lebanon site. Was for my daughter. So it says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy muggle." Just sort of like that old movie, and then it's Kevin uses it in Home Alone, right? When he's combating the bad guys. So there's that one. Then the next year we were watching the series Psych, which we also love that show. It's such a great show. And I designed this one. I don't know, it's really hard to see. Can you see that those are pineapples? So in the series Psych, in every single episode, there's a pineapple hidden out in the open. You know, like maybe somebody will wear a tie with pineapples all over it, or there's just a pineapple sitting on the counter. But there is a pineapple in every single episode. So we've got pineapples and Christmas trees, and then another thing that is like a running gag. There's a bunch of running gags in the show, but one of them is Sean will say a word, and he will, you know, one of the main characters, he'll say a word and he'll butcher the word. And his friend Gus will be like, that's not the way you say it. You say it like this. And then Sean will be like, I've heard it both ways. And so what I did with that is I charted every way to say Merry Christmas from Leah's heritage on my side of the family. So this is Gaelic, this is French, and this is German. And then it says, I've heard it both ways, and Merry Christmas. So she really, she got a kick out of that, and I think she still loves it and enjoys putting it on the tree every year. And then my family's been involved with horses all my life. Leah rides, and this is a Prairie Schooler chart that I changed the colors of to be, to have markings similar to her favorite horse of all time. His name is Raz, and they were best buddies. And then this one is just a tree. I got this on Etsy. I can't remember. It's not My Big Toe Designs. It's, if I think of it, I'll mention it, or I'll put the link down below. But I modified it just a smidge, and then I wrote Merry Christmas in Latin. There's actually a bunch of different ways to say Merry Christmas in Latin, and so I just chose the one that I liked the best. And that's what I wrote. So, because she had just started Latin that year, she loved the teacher, loved the class, and in fact, she is in Latin 4 with that same teacher this year. So I think that's all of hers. Okay, so then moving on to Ethan's. This is one that I found on Etsy and modified the chart. So it was originally like a springish kind of blues and pinkies kind of thing. But you know, we've got the crown, and it says "Welcome, Tiny Overlord," and then it's got I can't remember if there was a heart here or what it was that was in the middle, but it was 2 blue birds. I changed it to be a holly leaf with some holly berries. And you know what? Those are specialty stitches, but I don't have my readers on, so I can't tell what they are. Here, maybe you can see it. Anyway, he doesn't know. He had no idea, but he likes it now because now he knows what it says and he thinks it's funny. But this is, I was such a loser, I forgot to put a hanger on this, so it just sits. It just sits on the branches. It does just fine. Let's see, then I made this one for him. Or actually, I'm sorry. Next was this one. It's this little truck. This came out of a Just Cross Stitch Christmas magazine, and then this frame was just like on an end cap at Michael's, so just slapped it in there. Then this is just a little snowman that was also in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. And then last year I was really running out of time for the ornaments for them all. And so I was like, oh, you know, it'll be so much faster. It'll be so much faster to do punch needle ornaments. Well, of course, what I ended up doing is not just finding already done teeny tiny ones. I designed my own. I did get them done, but I got them done at about 4 in the morning, Christmas morning, to give to them. And I have thought about making these, you know, making the entire alphabet and making them available on my, on my 2 shops and maybe on my site. I haven't really, so anyway, if you're interested, let me know, and that will nudge me a little closer to, yes, I think I should actually do that. I'm kind of 2 minds about punch needle. You know, it's not very popular, but I personally really, really love it, and I have a lot of ideas for punch needle designs. But, you know, production costs of hard copies and things like that are, it's not nothing. And so I thought about just offering punch needle only in digital. But then again, I don't want to say, well, shops, sorry about your luck, you aren't getting a piece of this pie. You know, I just don't know. I don't know. I need more information from people who are familiar with that side of the business, I guess, before I make a decision. But I do have ideas, and there are things that I want to do and that I'll do for myself. Whether or not I sell them and distribute it is a different question, I suppose. But okay, so now I'm going to show you my finishes. I think. Yeah. All right. So forgive me if I've already shown this to you. I can't remember if I did or not. But this is a Prairie Schooler. Ignore this. This was something I was starting over one, and it didn't turn out well, so I just left it there. It'll get wrapped around the back of whatever I, you know, use to finish this thing. So this is one of the Prairie Schooler. I can't remember which. You know, it's one of those cardstock ones. It's not like a book, but it's got like 5 or 6 different little smalls in the one cardstock thing. Love this. This is on Gretchen's Gray 28 count linen and was gifted to me by a dear friend. So I love that. Recently I finished, this was my favorite jar from Hands On Design, and so I did it first. My husband and son were looking at it and were like, yeah, we don't really like the tricolor pumpkins. So instead of 3 different, you know, there was like a teal that ends up looking gray on this fabric, and then there was like a gray, I think, and then orange. I just did 3 different oranges, and I really love the way it came out. I did finish it before Halloween. I didn't finish it in time to get it done for Halloween, you know, FFO'd for Halloween. So hopefully next year I will have FFO'd it and have it out ready to enjoy. Let's see, I have another Halloween finish. This is one of those Waxing Moon Designs houses. Sorry, hold on, try not to drop this stuff and get the right piece out too. Let's see, yeah, here we go. So I've got the other 2 houses left to do on this. Aren't they, isn't that just adorable? I'm trying to see. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. I just love that little ghost and the little eyeballs in the windows. I love that. Love it, love it. So there's 2 more houses in that chart, and then I've also got the one that has like the bat and the cat, and it's an owl. So I'll work on those. I don't know that they'll all be done for next Halloween, but you know, they'll get done. Next up, I finished one of Kathy Haberman's ornaments. This is a series. There's like 3 chart packs that have 3 ornaments in each one. So there's like a total of, I think it's 3. So I think there's a total of 9 of these. So I've got this first one done. Let's see if I can see what I'm showing you. There we go. And I have almost finished a second one. Where is it? This is what I've been, oh my goodness, this piece of fabric is enormous, I'm so sorry. This is what I've been working on off and on when I have a minute the last week or so. Okay. This one. So that's the second one and I'll have that done. I'll probably finish that tonight, honestly. I've just got that one corner, and then, so like, you know, see how they have the 3 little ornamentations in the corners. So I have to do one here, and then this other bottom edge. Look at my white stitches. Why is my phone, you know, that's so funny. Is it gonna do it now? Huh. My tablet focuses much better up close than my phone. I'm recording with my phone today, so maybe I'll be going back to my tablet. I don't know, that's very odd that my phone isn't auto-focusing very well. Okay, I think that's all the stitching stuff I have to tell you about, really. I'll give you some personal updates, but if you are not interested in that though, thank you for sticking around and listening to this hot mess of a video today. I really appreciate it. I'll be back next year. I'm not going to promise that these videos will be any more frequent or regular or scheduled, but you know, I'll give it a shot. Okay, so next up, I'm going to talk about a little bit of a life update. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I do have a couple pieces of haul. They're not stitchy related. This is it's similar to an Apple Pencil. It's not an Apple Pencil. And so maybe I will have wasted my money and it won't do what I want it to do. But what I want this for is to use in an app called Procreate on my iPad, so that I can do punch needle designs and maybe just work on my skills as an artist in general while I am sitting with my family in the family room. I have a drawing pad to use. It's called a Wacom or Wacom, I don't know. Drawing tablet that plugs into my actual computer, and I use it in Photoshop, and that's great, but it really limits how much time I can actually spend doing it because I have to be here in my office. And when I'm here in my office, I'm doing, you know, other work that needs to be done. So I would have to take time away from my family to come here and do that, and I don't really want to do that. So this will enable me to just have it on my iPad while I'm sitting in the living room or in the family room with my family, just chilling after dinner, and you know, we're not really doing anything in particular. I can sit there and hopefully use this to do punch needle designs and just, like I said, work on my art in general. Very excited about this. The other thing is this. This is a hot knife. So you use this to cut like foam, basically, is what it is. Let me get my head out of the way. Can you see that? So this plugs in and it gets really hot, and you can cut foam, right? You can cut all kinds of different things out. So if you have followed me on Instagram, you probably saw last week I posted a couple pictures of my Christmas stuff, some of my Christmas stuff, and one of them was like the village pieces. I've really gotten into the Department 56 village stuff in the last couple years, and my son also really enjoys it. So it's a little bit of a challenge to get it set up, you know, with different levels. I have currently a pretty small surface to put things on. For next year, we probably are going to build a table that's a little bit bigger, that can take a little bit more stuff. But for now anyway, and possibly going forward, I have a pretty small condensed footprint to put things on. So what you have to do is you have to create different levels so that the houses can be super close together, but you can still see all of them, if that makes any sense. So, you know, I've been doing it with books and that fake fat snow fabric, and it's okay. I mean, it is fine. It really is. It is fine. But I've also seen these amazing foam bases that people make. Oh, wow. They're amazing. I mean, they'll like cut stairs into it, and they'll make it look like it's brick or stone. It is amazing. And I would love to have some of those. Oh, and then they like drill hole, you know, use the knife and make a hole right into the styrofoam so that the plug goes from the building straight down under the foam and is hidden, right? So you're not looking at a sea of cords when you look at your village, which I don't really see the cords anyway because they're above eye level. That's where I have them right now. My husband, I'm sure, sees them all the time though. But anyway, so those bases are very, very cool, and they're very expensive to buy, and I am too cheap to buy it. I can't make myself do it. I mean, they're like, I think the cheapest one I've seen is like $100 or something. It's nuts how expensive they are. I don't buy these buildings new either. I buy them on Goodwill or on a really good deal on eBay. I think the most I have spent on a building was $15. I'm just not interested in spending $100 on a base for them. Just not happening. So anyway, that's what that is for. My husband is also thinking about using it. He's got some like equipment that you can, I don't know if you've ever seen those Pelican cases for photographers, right? Where they've got the black foam, and then they've got little cutouts that fit the lens, each of their lenses exactly, and then, like their battery pack exactly, so you can cut it in the shape, and then you layer it together. So my husband, I think, is going to try to use it to see if he can do some of that for some of his equipment that he wants to use. Okay, so back on track. 22 plans. So I don't generally make New Year's resolutions, but I would say that this year, being the rough year that it has been, I think it's been a really rough year for everyone. But being the rough year that it's been, I have been pretty consciously looking back on the year and reflecting on how things went, interpersonally, business-wise, getting things done, just every aspect. I've been kind of consciously the last month and a half assessing how I did this year. And so as a result of my thinking, I've got a few things that I want to work on. I'm looking at my list down here. One of the things is, I don't know if you know this or not, but before I got pregnant with my son, I worked full time. And, I've always been a fairly organized person, but if you work full time, you know that you have to be extremely intentional about how you use your time. And I was very good at doing that. I got, things just got done, and it wasn't a big deal. I just did things. I'm sure you do the same thing. When you don't work outside the home, you don't have to, I'm not saying at all, trust me, I'm not saying at all that it's not busy and that there's not a ton of stuff to do. And there absolutely is. But you don't, well, at least for me, I didn't feel, I could be a lot more loosey-goosey with my intentionality of what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to be very, not regimented, but I didn't have to be super intentional. I could just get stuff done. It just happened. What else? Oh, yeah, I'll spend this hour doing this. No big deal. So now, all that to say, now that I am, doing this business now, I am basically working a full-time job again. And, it has been a little bit challenging to get back into the swing of being intentional with my time. And that's something that for my mental health, I need to be organized. I can't just have things all over the place in the middle of this project and that project and this project. My husband would be like, yeah, right, you're in the middle of 8 million projects. And I am, to a degree, that's true. But I need to know that this is when this is getting done and this is when this is getting done. And that's how it is, right? So I am going to go back to a system that I have used off and on over the years that has always worked very well for me. I know that there are other systems that are based on this, but this one is the first one that I saw that was along these lines. It's the Fly Lady system. So I'm not going to go in depth into this, but basically you set up a binder, and so you have like daily things that you need to do, weekly things that you need to do, and monthly things that you need to do. And as you get those things done, you print out your list and you stick it in a sleeve, a page protector, and then you use a whiteboard marker to, mark things off, and then you wipe it clean for the next day or the next week or the next month. And so, that has been very helpful to me in the past. When I tried to use it when I was working full time, it got to be a little bit too much. It was a little too regimented and not quite flexible enough. So I stopped using it then, but, you know, I could go on and on. It's helpful. I'm not going to be adhering to it religiously or anything like that, but to get myself back on track with being intentional about my time and focused on, you know, on the things that I feel like I need to be getting done aside from with my business, I'm going to use that for a while until I'm back on track. So that is one plan. Restarting the Fly Lady. Yeah, so getting my schedule more organized, catching up on projects that I am behind on will help with this as well. The month of September was pretty much a wash for my family. We went on vacation and it was, oh God, it was fabulous. It was so fantastic. We went to the beach. We went to Myrtle Beach. It was wonderful. But then the week after we got back, my husband was sick, and then I got it, and then my son got it, and then I got it, and, you know, with varying degrees of being ill. You know, the boy had he was just not sick at all. My daughter, barely. Me and my husband, you know, more than the kids, right? But that kind of, all the things that we all intended to get done in September just didn't happen. So we've all been kind of playing catch up on that. So we're just about caught up. I feel like I should knock on wood saying that, because I feel like now that I say that, something terrible is going to happen and we're all going to get behind again. No, it's fine. I'm not superstitious like that. Not really. Okay. The other thing that is going to be the big, so there's that, getting, you know, more organized with my schedule and getting back on schedule. The other thing is you know, it's personal, emotional thing. I'm not going to, you know, whatever. I might even just cut that little blip out. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to work on in 2022 is, I started in 2021, and that is getting my baseline health back to where it was before I got pregnant with my son. So when I got pregnant with my son, I was pretty much in the best shape of my life. I was 39 when I got pregnant with him. And I was lifting weights and working out and very strong and very healthy. And I gained a healthy amount of weight with him, but then I had a severe vitamin D deficiency after he was born, and a severe iron deficiency, or anemia, when I was pregnant with him, and it kind of threw my body for a loop physically, and then mentally, on top of the physical issues, it's been kind of hard to get back on track. So this year I have lost 20 pounds and kept it off, which is huge. I mean, so when I was sick in the spring of 2022, I developed asthma after that, and it is so much better now. And part of that could just be time, but also part of that is I'm just healthier. So the last month or so, I've been kind of off track with, you know, my fitness. So I intend to get back out and get back in the habit of walking every day, get back to weight training, which I don't know why. Every time I restart weight training, I'm always like, why did I stop doing this? I love this. I feel so strong, and, you know, like, hear me roar kind of thing. But I love it. I love lifting weights. Love it. So get back to doing that. Should be easy, right? No, you get out of the habit of making time in your schedule to do these things, and then you just don't do them. The other thing is, you know, make sure that my vitamin D stays where it needs to be. As we all know, that is a huge risk factor for certain things happening right now. So I want to make sure that I'm on top of that and not creating that situation for myself. I had a ridiculously low number at one point, and I felt terrible anyway because of how low it was, but I think it was like 10 is what it was. I think you're supposed to be like 45 or something is normal, but or in the middle of the normal range. But anyway, so I want to be really mindful about making sure that, you know, I'm getting the nutrients that I need to get, getting regularly tested, making sure that my blood work is where it should be because of the issues I've had in the past. and being super mindful of the things that I'm putting in my body and the things that are coming into the house that I'm giving to my family. So for like, I follow this lady on Instagram named Food Babe, and she goes into a lot of the why. You know, everybody, like for instance, one of my favorite things was those flavored creamers, right? Like the International Delights, and Coffee Mate has them. I love them. God, they're so good. I knew they were really bad, right? I knew they were bad for me, but it was like, yeah, you're gonna pry these out of my cold, dead fingers. That's when I'll give this up to go in my coffee. Well, she highlights the particularly bad ingredients of various things, and then she tells you, look, this is why this is bad for you. So like, is it an endocrine disruptor? Does it kill your microbiome in your gut? Does it, those are the two big things, honestly, that create a lot of health problems. You know, does it create inflammation in your body? I have learned so much, and I cut that creamer out, and I felt so much better. It was like my face depuffed, even aside from losing weight, like my face depuffed, my fingers depuffed a little bit. Like I could see a change, a very big difference. Like I didn't think that it was having any impact on my health or how I felt or how I looked at all. Not at all. But it very clearly was. Like, for real, it was. So I just want to kind of continue with that. You know, it sounds like such a bummer. Oh, eat healthy. But it really isn't. I mean, I'm not going to be crazy about it. I'm not, like, on a mission to just empty out my entire pantry, you know. Baby steps, and it'll get better and better and better, and you know, that's all we can do. Okay, I think that is it. That's all I've got for you today. I hopefully will be back in January with another video, but I'm not going to promise that because I know myself. And look, what was it? August was the last time I was here with a real video. I mean, I did the Stella 2 video a few weeks ago, but you know, does that really count? No, it doesn't really count as a real Flosstube video. So anyway, that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you, if you celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy this time with your families. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a great end to the year. And, you know, go into the new year refreshed and looking forward. I think we can all agree that we hope 2022 will be better for everyone. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.